So, destroyed. Kaiba versus Weevil. It was just brutal. And he could have gone a completely different route and made me like lose in like turn two. So I'm grateful that he likes to do his own spin on things. So it gave me opportunity, but there was just no winning that. Um, Let me know though if there was a better option I could have used. I'd be curious to save it and try it out, but I just that was an uphill battle I just could never make to the top. But that's okay. Now Kaiba and Weevil are both removed from the wheel, and I don't get a respin. So almost anyone on this list is better than Weevil. I don't know about Bakura, but if I get him, I guess I would have to figure it out. I really, really hope I don't have to get him and figure it out. I really want Pegasus or Yugi or Joey. Rex even wouldn't be bad. Keith, maybe, maybe, and then, like I said, Bakura. So I'm thinking, to be fair, I would love to go Joey route. I could have access to Jinzo, Scapegoat. Um, he has that really cool fusion I can't think of right now. And some of the Red Ice cards, especially since Duel Links is around, he can have access to. So it would be fun. I think Red Eyes is a very fun deck to play. Obviously, I'd have to stick it to what Joey had access to, but still, it is something. And honestly, Yugi would just be awesome. I would purposely try to get Slifer on the field. So that's something too. But we'll see. We'll see. Here goes the spin. Yes. Okay. The king of games. We're going Yugi.
Hello, our Yu-Gi-Oh! Rival Series fans. This is our second episode, and now the rules are the same as the last. You spin this lovely wheel, you make a deck based on that character from the show, and you can also use their video game decks. Then you duel it out. And if you win, you get a respin counter to use whenever you want to. But I'm going to hopefully hold on to mine till later on. And I still don't want Keith or Bakura, but we will see what happens. And as to mention of the wheel from last week, I realized that my wheel didn't even have Weevil on it. So that was my mistake. And this week I made sure to match with Mark so that way that mistake doesn't happen again. Lesson learned. So that was unintentional. And also to the names on the list, we have both removed Weevil and Kaiba. So here's our list left of Yugi, Bakura, Keith, May, Pegasus, Rex, and Joey. And let's spin this and see how it goes this week. Here's hoping I still don't get those two. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, okay. Week two, I still gotta mess with dragons.
Alrighty, so time for the deck that I built. Titled Much Better, and I renamed Y to Weevil because I'm just going to keep that there. So, a much better deck. So, I have a little bit of a situation. I was going to go for a nice Dark Magician deck. And I was like, okay, very cool, lot of options, awesome. And then I went to see, does Yugi actually use a lot of these cards? And the answer is no. No, he does not. So that kind of killed the idea for a Dark Magician deck. What is worse is Yugi uses Red Eyes for a little bit in Battle City. For whatever reason, and I thought I remembered Yugi or Joey, and it probably was Joey, but I thought I remembered Yugi using Dragoon. And I was like, oh, I would love to special summon this guy. Problem is, it didn't say he used it. It says no one uses them. So either it's wrong, it can't be outdated because a lot of the stuff on the wiki is really up to date. So it had to either be missed or I'm just remembering wrong. Let me know, please, because this would have been a great card to summon. Yugi uses both Red Eyes and Dark Magician. Polymerization. Bam. Would have had it. It would have been awesome. But unfortunately, I can't use it because it doesn't say Yugi uses it. not any form of Yugi, because I've looked. I looked. Obviously, it's not in Duel Links yet, but I still checked. I checked all the anime, the manga. I know it's not in any of his specific decks because it only came out in that one tin, but I tried. I really did look. I even looked for like a Google search. Hey, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon used or anime appearances, stuff like something like that, and nothing. So I don't know. I'm remembering wrong. I really thought he was used though. So I went and did this instead. So it is still a majority of spellcasters. Dark Magician, three of, just because it is Yugi's ace card. He has some other ones, so it's kind of cool. But let's just go through it. So three Dark Magicians. Uh, the Mahad, and he could be special summoned if you draw him. So as long as I don't get him in my starting hand, I could special summon him on a really good turn, especially if I'm in like trouble. He's a really good like top card. The Dark Illusion, Magician of Dark Illusion, pretty good effect. Prentice Illusion Magician, pretty good effect. You got two Crusaders, Breaker, DD Warrior Lady, Wall of Illusion, which actually came out in his first structure deck, so that's pretty cool. Magician's Rod, Marshmallow used in the anime, Spirit Reaper, think he was in one of his video game decks. Magician's Robe, Old Vindictive Magician, Magician of Faith. And video games are really nice to characters that are not as popular, like Weevil. I was able to use Regeki. I was able to use Darkhold, Potted or Graceful Charity. Yugi actually uses a lot of those cards in the anime, but not all of them. Like Harpy's Feather Duster, that's a my card, but in a video game, he uses it. Graceful Charity. Last Will comes in a structure deck. Book of Moon. So it's pretty cool, and Snatch Steal. So all those were like pretty cool that I could actually throw in here. But yeah, all these main, very powerful spell cards. And then this is to help special summon a spellcaster and can quickly take care of something on my opponent's side of the field. Magician's Navigation, Mirror Force, Magic Cylinder, the Eternal Soul, two of those, and Call the Hunted. Keeping my main deck at 40. In case I side in the Eye of Timaeus, I threw in the Magician and Dragon Knight, as well as Dark Magician Girl and the Dragon Knight. Which actually, hold on, might not even be able to use it without Dark Magician Girl, but I'd have to side in both. Whatever. Slide for the Sky Dragon just because odds are I'm not going to use it, but I don't know, kind of cool just to have right here. I was thinking that or Seal of Orichalcos again, but nah. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Now, it is brought in some Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it was one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks that it comes in, but it's also in his copied, his replica deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. So, it was kind of cool. So, I had two areas where I could have pulled it from, so it was pretty nice. I do got lights. I do got darks. So, actually, I think that's all I have are light and dark. Thought I had an earth in here or something. Maybe not. But anyways, so it's very likely I'll side this in. It's just this flows a little better together, where this is just kind of, I get it at a good time, I can use it. Dark Magician Girl, another Magician's Robe. Oh wait, yeah, so because I have the other two up here. The Eye of Timaeus, Heavy Storm. I have Harpy's Feather Duster in here, Mystical Space Typhoon. Since my deck is a little over half spells and traps, I kind of want to put the Heavy Storm down here. Soul Exchange, Dark Magic Expander, or Expanded, and two Magician's Circle. So that's my deck. I don't know what Daniel's going to get. I really hope it's an easy week for me. But then again, using this powerful character, I'm kind of hoping that if I'm not going to roll a Joey or a Pegasus, that he rolls it this week and I win. Pegasus is scary just because Toons can attack directly. So, but if he does get Pegasus, I am definitely going to side in Heavy Storm and keep Magic Cylinder, keep Mirror Force. There's a lot of options, and I would definitely go all out against it. Joey is scary. Not as powerful, though, I don't think. I think a lot of the cards he uses come from Duel Links would be helpful, but I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, video games help a lot of characters as well, just because they build decks that they normally wouldn't have, but because we're using that as a database, we can use them. But all right, that's my deck profile. Let me know if there would have been something better. Go ahead and take a look at the wiki yourself. I'm very, very curious, and I would actually like to build and try out the decks you guys recommend for each character. Um, Maybe one day in real life I'll actually like buy some singles and try to actually replicate some of these most powerful decks of each character, main character. But all right, Daniel, it's time to duel. Let me save this and give you a call.
Hello again. Sorry, I figured out at the end of the last video that it cut off. And just as I was laughing about how Mark may be upset that last week I snuck in a Red Eyes for our sentimental value, and this week it came back in full force wanting its own deck. So, starting off, the deck list is Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. I was one of the few people that got the PlayStation 1 game that had Red Eyes Metal Dragon in it, so I was one of the only friends that had it. And again, it was in the deck that I beat Mark with. So another fun little nod to the past. So next, of course, 3 Red Eyes Black Dragons, because of had to. 3 Black Dragons Chick to help summon the Red Eyes. 3 Red Eyes Wyverns to help get other Red Eyes monsters back, special summoned from the graveyard, because you're always going to need more Red Eyes. Red Eyes Retro Dragon. If a level 7 or lower Red Eyes is destroyed, then I get it back from the graveyard along with discard and defense position. So, boom, there we go, more Red Eyes. A lot of this deck is going to be recycling and reusing both Red Eyes and just cards in general. So that's what I kind of went with, of powering up my guys, weakening my opponent, and just recycling and reusing a lot of cards, both out of the graveyard and deck even. So next is Black Metal Dragon. I can target 1 Red Eyes. I control, equip it, and it gets 600 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard, I can add 1 Red Eyes card from my deck to my hand, which is great since most of the good cards and cards in general are Red Eyes themed. Now, I went with Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact, which I know cannot be exchanged for the next card, which is Meteor Dragon, when I'm trying to summon Meteor Black Dragon. So I do have Meteor Dragon in here along with Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact, but the Gemini effect of the Red Eyes Impact of other Red Eyes not being able to be destroyed by battle or card effects is great coverage. So I have that one in there for the effect, and then I have the Meteor Dragon for the fusion. Next is the Kid Moto, which if this card is sent to the graveyard, I get a special summon a dragon type monster from my hand. It's great for summoning the big monsters like Red Eyes Black Dragon or any of the other dragons that I need to use its effect for. Vanguard of the Dragon is my next 2 cards, which again send 1 dragon type monster from your hand to the graveyard. You get 300 attack. When this card you control is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target a dragon type normal monster in either player's graveyard, special summon that target. That's great for if he rolled Joey as well. I can steal his Red Eyes and use it for fusions. Or if he still would have been able to use the Blue Eyes Kaiba deck, I could have stolen those. But again, great for any kind of dragon deck, especially my own dragon deck. Next 3 cards are Blue Dragon Summoner, because when it leaves the field, I can add a Dragon Warrior or Spellcaster normal monster, which I do have 3 Axe Raiders as my warrior cards. And of course, my 3 Red Eyes Black Dragons work with that as well. So that's 6 different options I can use. Considering I'm going to be using Axe Raider with Red Eyes Black Dragon to summon another fusion monster, it's a good way to keep him on the field and keep using him. Next, I have 2 Summon Skulls, because I want to summon my Black Skull Dragon. And I also found out with this card that since they changed it, and I don't know how far back, but now it is treated as an Archfiend card. And another card I have in my side deck is added mainly because I didn't realize the Summon Skull also had that it's treated as an Archfiend card. And if I want to summon the last card in my fusion deck, I need a Archfiend. So if I keep Summon Skull in here, I can summon my 3 Black Skull Dragons along with the Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. Which Black Skull Dragon is just the 3200 basically, but the Archfiend version is one level 6 Archfiend monster and a red eyes, and its effects are beautiful. I can only summon it one per turn. If it battles, your opponent can activate the card effects until the end of the damage step, and if damage calculation is done involving this card, at the end of the battle phase, I can target one Red Eyes normal monster in my graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard, and then shuffle it into the deck. So again, I get to recycle my Red Eyes along with using a big boot to the face. So those are my monster cards. Next is my magic of Red Eyes Insight. Send a Red Eyes from hand or deck to the graveyard, get a spell or trap with Red Eyes. I'm mainly going to be using it to summon my Red Eyes fusions, so that way I can use my extra deck and the Red Eyes that I hope to have constantly just recycling on the field. Old friend again from last week that made it again into this dragon deck is Stamping Destruction. You saw it last week. Destroy a spell, do 500 damage, boom, slows their attack and defense, and I get to do damage. Lightning Blade is actually only in here to help protect those Axe Raiders so I can keep it on the field longer, as well as I want to use it with the next card, which is Release Restraint Wave. Target equip card, I destroy it, and I destroy all of my opponent's face down spell or trap cards. So again, destroying their magic and traps is a great way of slowing everybody down. So I can use that, the Lightning Blade with Axe Raider, and then Release Restraint Wave along with the Black Metal Dragon. I can use it with, and a couple of the other equipped trap cards I have come out. Next I have Graceful Dice and Skull Dice. Both you roll a dice and 100 times the result. Graceful Dice adds it to your monsters, and Graceful or Skull Dice removes it from your opponents. So a great way to hopefully, he's barely stronger than me. I roll dice. Hopefully I get stronger. Boom. Either way. Next is Red Eyes Spirit. Target a Red Eyes monster in my graveyard. Special summon it. And since it doesn't say a normal monster, I can use it with the other Red Eyes instead of just the Red Eyes Black Dragon, which again is very nice to add to what I'm doing. Return of the Red Eyes. Again, cycling is the main theme of this deck, other than, of course, dragons. If you control a Red Eyes monster, you can target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If this card in your possession is destroyed, target a Red Eyes, special summon it. And the first part of this is also able to be applied to Axe Raider. So again, normal monster, so I can hopefully summon one of my extra deck cards, which I'll explain here in a second. Next is Jar of Avarice, I cannot say that right. Target 5 cards in the graveyard, throw them in your deck, draw a card. So again, great way to recycle a lot of the cards and effects that I'll need to win throughout the deck constantly. Next is 2 Kunai Chains. Activate one or both of these effects. They attack, I change them to defense position. One of my monsters I control, equip this to it. It gains 500 attack. Great way of keeping my defenses up, stopping their attack, and just, again, powering up my monsters. Now, Magical Arm Shield I've never used before, but I like the idea where I can, when they attack, I steal one of the other monsters except for the attacking monster, and if they still attack, it gets hit. So not only can I possibly destroy one of his big heavy hitters or major threats, but but I can also hopefully protect my life points at least to some degree. So if his two monsters are the same attack, I get to destroy two of his big threats, or if it's just one, I can either take the stronger and then he takes damage, or I can take the weaker and I don't get taken as much damage, but I still get rid of one of his threats. So next is another equipped card that I want to use Release Restraint Wave with, and that's Blast with Chain. I equip it to one of my monsters. It gains 500 attack, and if this card is destroyed by card effect while equipped, I get to target one card on the field and destroy that target. So if I'm able to equip this to one of my monsters, not only do I get to keep it on the field longer, but if I use Release Restraint, destroy that, I get to target one card on the field, along with wiping out all of his face down spell and trap cards. So I could possibly wipe out all of his spell or trap cards and one of his big monsters on the field, and he could have full. I have a full field now. I barely have anything or nothing at all at best case. So I'm hoping that'll go well. Of course, Metal Morph to use on Red Eyes Black Dragon if I want to use Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. And also, again, the 300 attack and defense for protecting myself, along with if I attack with whatever monster it's equipped to, getting half of the attack target's attack. Beautiful. It's a great way to beat over some of the stronger monsters with a mid-level or weak monster. So it's really nice. And my last two traps are Trap Hole. Because, of course, you got to end the trap cards with a card that has trap in the name of it. Duh. Just kidding. But yeah, Trap Hole, anything with that 1,000 or more attack, destroy it. Again, great way to slow down some of his, strategies, as well as get rid of some of the dangerous heavy hitters. All right, so the extra deck: Red Eyes Slash Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and one Warrior monster. Then you equipped when you equipped a monster declares an attack. You equip a warrior to it. It gets 200 attack. You can kick it to the equip card to the graveyard and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that target. So again, it's a great with the warrior equipped. It's 3,000 as much as a Blue Eyes, and with that quick effect of protecting itself and everything else, great. Again, that's why I added so many cards that reuse the graveyard and otherwise. So if he somehow gets rid of one or even two Slash Dragons, I can hopefully still get Axe Raider and Red Eyes Black Dragon on the field to summon it again. So Meteor Black Dragon, because I have Meteor Dragon in there. Then 3 Black Skull Dragons, again because 3,200 is just a nice, good number. And then Archfiend Black Skull Dragon because 3,200, good number, and then with its effect of doing the not able to activate the till the end of the damage step, effects until the end of the damage step, and then targeting a Red Eyes normal monster, inflicting damage to them, and then I get it back in my deck is always just a great recycle tactic for Red Eyes. My side deck is mainly Joey themed cards like Jinzo in this deck because I have so many traps that help me recycle Red Eyes and reuse them and protect them. I think Jinzo would shut me down just as much, if not more, than my opponent in most cases. So as good as Jinzo is, because Joey never uses the equipped card that allows Jinzo to stop your opponent's traps but not yours, it was actually a different character that did it, he's not going to be useful to me. Baby Dragon, Time Wizard. I don't like using Time Wizard's effect. It always hurts me more than my opponent in most cases. So not going to go there. Thousand Dragon, because again, Joey's known for these 3 cards. And because it's a fusion, it wouldn't be as bad to summon as, having to get this right with him on the field to summon it. But again, for 2,400, I might as well try to get my Red Eyes back on the field. Polymerization doesn't. I may add it depending if I need more ability to fusion summon. But until then, I'm going to see how the deck goes as is. I added Scapegoat because again, it's a Joey card, and depending on the deck, if I need to, have more cards on the field so he can't hit me as fast could be a good way. But since they can't be tribute summoned, it's also kind of a way to slow my own self down in this deck. I have a third copy of Vanguard of the Dragon, Spear Dragon again, because I use cards like this that if they attack, they get switched to defense position in a defensive manner. With a all-out attack deck like this is, I think it would slow me down more. So I would rather have the cards that I can use the effects of to, you know, boop and get other stuff on the field. Beast of Talwar is the card I found out Joey used that counted as the Archfiend card until I realized that Summon Skull could do the same thing but for more attack, and I just like Summon Skull better. Let alone with Summon Skull, I can possibly summon up to 6 cards from my extra deck compared to Talwar can only do the 3 Archfiend Skull Dragons. So Summon Skull was just a better option. Sword and Shield, because most of this deck is offensive, it would most likely hurt me more than help me, but depending on the deck again, I could switch it in, give myself an option. Always keep a Stamping Destruction third on hand. Dragon's Gunfire, again, I like this card, but you either inflict 800 damage to your opponent or destroy a card with 800 or less defense. Most of the cards, even in this deck, have more than 800 defense, and the ones with less actually help me rather than hurt me if they go to the graveyard in most cases. So I think that unless I'm against a deck that has a lot of weaker defense position monsters, I don't think it'd be useful right now. This is another card that I've never used but might be good depending on situation and deck. When it's this card is destroyed while equipped to a monster, look at your opponent's hand, discard 1 card from their hand. So it's kind of nice for slowing down, strategies, this, that, and the other. And because it's an equip card, I can still also use it with Release Restraint Wave. But again, I'm not sure I want to try to use it yet. I want to see how the deck so far is going to deal on its own. So that's it, and we will see how it goes soon.
All right, so we're back again. Duel number two. Dan, really quick. Were you happy with your spin?
Yes, very much so.
Oh gosh.
I actually had to redo it, and I still got the same character.
Oh.
The first time it was like right in the middle of their name, and the second one they just crept up, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
I don't like hearing that you're happy about your character after last week. Luck.
Are you happy with your character?
Yes, I was disappointed because I thought they used more cards. So when I was building their deck and looking for those cards, I couldn't find them, and I actually used Google. I was like, did they ever use these cards? And it's like, no. So I was like, so I had to make some changes to what I thought I was going to do. But overall, it was still a good roll. Did you use your respin, or do you still have it?
Nope, I still have it.
All right, so
Save that one, for as long as possible. I'm hoping to add a second one to it now, so.
all right, well, let's see what we got
Well, that
here.
sounds cocky, but anyone who knows my deck style and what I like to play,
Did you
they'll
did
understand.
you choose your choice, rock paper scissors yet?
Yeah, I did.
I think it froze on us. Let's reload the link and try it again. Oh, all right. Ha. I think for this character, I do want to go first, even though I lose the card. So knowing that you're happy,
Certain deck styles, you gotta do it.
knowing that you're happy scares me because that means you didn't get Bandit Keith, Bakura, and most likely didn't get Mai. So that means you're rolling with Joey, Pegasus, or Yugi. You probably didn't get Rex either. So yeah, Joey, Pegasus, or Yugi. I feel like, oh man, I feel like it's Pegasus. All right, let's see. All right, let's start. Good luck.
Yeah, you too. Get your way.
Of course, I would draw you on my start. That is just. There's a card I have that's like meant to be drawn, not have in your starting hand. So it's kind of annoying to see it.
Yeah.
That.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
I can think of one card off the top of my head that falls under that.
Oh shoot,
And I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
might have given it away. That's true. Well, maybe we'll see.
I have a bad feeling you're messing with Yugi.
I We'll see. I have a bad feeling you mess with Pegasus, so let's go.
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
That's okay. Not all these cards I'm familiar with word by word either, so I will have to read a little bit here and there.
Oh yes, that and some of them it's all about the wording they go with.
Oh yeah.
One word could mean either an entire thing or one specific thing. So like some of the cards like a you can do this kind of monster or this normal type monster. And why do you sound like you're giggling?
Oh, wow, that's the card I'm gonna draw. All right. I guess first, no, there's really nothing I can do. I will end actually. Very boring turn.
Ooh, part of me is worried.
I have I have an okay setup. It can definitely be better.
I'm gonna summon this card.
You're Joey. Oh my gosh. All right.
Explained on the video that you may be upset that last week I snuck in Red Eyes because of dragons, and this week
Oh, I love that
it was
artwork.
like he came back with a return for vengeance, going, "Hey, I want to actually have my real deck in there."
Oh, of
So both
course.
for yes, I knew you were working with Joe with Yugi.
Oh boy, this is
I
not good.
knew it. I knew it.
Well, I'm glad
Ooh.
now you got to worry about my face down defense because I'm actually dealing with good cards.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried, but also I'm go for it.
Yep, that's
Fair
fine.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah, so the card you probably knew I had in my hand kind of got given away. But yep,
yeah.
that's the card I
The
have.
fake dark magician that when you draw him, you summon him, and when he dies, you get a dark magician, right?
Like somewhat.
Okay, that's the first one that came to mind.
Are you you're on main phase 2 or
Oh, sorry, I thought I hit
no, you're
main
good.
phase.
All
I
good.
hit the wrong thing.
Of course that's going to
So now
happen.
we're basically rivals, friendly rivals of Joey versus friendly and Yugi versus Dan and Mark. These spins are really just full on
I could have drawn
we are
better.
rivals set.
Man, I could
Okay,
have drawn better.
flip you on there.
So you can target one red
Oh
ice
no,
monster you control. It gains 600 attack if this card is in the fields. Alright, I'm going to activate, and not that I really need to, but just for later.
fair enough. Always having that just ready and raring to go is a good thing. Waiting for an opponent. Oh no, that means he has other things he can do.
Let's do it. Dark Magician from my hand.
Oh, jeez,
Ooh,
that face down could be a major issue. Oh, and of course, what I'm not
alright.
too worried about, but Jesus, I
The
have to
the
summon
only
another.
the I totally did not read what Black Metal Dragon does. He boosted your attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's I was like, "Oh, I have 2500. Your 2400 red eyes can't beat it." And it see, okay. That was not okay. Just go. End me quickly.
Sounds so obscene. To be fair, the fact that I do dragons twice in a row, and they're all dragons that I've beat you with in the past, is just. During a lot of the intros, the reason it takes so long is me just going, yeah, this card I threw in there specifically because Mark and I's history with these cards.
So when monster you control, equip this monster from your hand or field and target it. It gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one red eyes from your deck to your hand. Nah, there's nothing I want to activate. That's fine. Every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. That's pretty cool. If this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. That's not good. You can only use the following effects of Eternal Soul once per turn. Okay.
Oh, hey, he can attack again, so we're just gonna get rid of him so he can't use his effect.
Yeah. Be gone.
Oh no, you haven't seen anything yet, my friend. Oh, what? Oh, because of its okay. That's fair.
Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna save that. I think now is as good a time as ever.
Oh
Red
no.
Eyes Fusion. Yes, gone.
Yeah,
All right.
because I summoned it, set it instead of activated it.
I might
Like special summon on
regret
turn, so I screwed that one up.
might regret using this. So luckily, I'm just gonna do this first and get rid of it now,
Ooh, fair enough.
and
Yeah,
then
I'm in trouble because the card in my hand. If I wouldn't have screwed up and misused Dice Fusion, I'd be pretty upset now.
yeah. Well, you never know. It might have been a good way to lure me into your face downs. Luckily, Harpy's Feather Duster took care of all of them and not one of them.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I can't summon anything now, so.
That is music to my ears. Let me tell you, a breath of fresh air. Oh.
Yeah, you drew bad at the beginning, and I drew bad middle here.
To be fair, I actually didn't know this had an effect to summon a Dark Magician from hand. I was just going to activate it to scare you and hopefully draw out a
Oh,
cards
dude,
so you wouldn't
that Dark
destroy.
Magician. Ooh, oh,
So you
yes, I did.
so you wouldn't destroy my Mirror Force. I was trying to
Yeah,
lure you away from Mirror Force. But then I was like, oh, I have an effect I could use, and I was like, oh shoot, I just drew Dark Magician. This is good. I I read all these cards during like building the deck, but I am just not familiar with cards like past GX. So it's gonna
oh,
take me a little
dude,
while.
I have an IRL Dark Magician deck, and I love Dark Magician. Oh, hey, look what I just drew.
Oh
It's back!
no, not another. Okay, can't summon anything else. Okay, Axe Raider and Red Eyes. Ooh, Red Eyes Slash Dragon.
Yes.
And it's 20. Oh no.
So, it's a fact.
So its effect, you can equip one. Okay, you can send one equipped card you control to the graveyard and negate the activation if you do destroy that card. But before that, gives this card 200 attack. Okay.
Yes.
Ah, and you got more for me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa.
The connection ended. Oh no.
What? It says I still have it in it. Why?
Okay.
It was going so well.
I don't even know what my next card was. Okay, hold on. Let's reload the link and see what happened.
Let's try. If nothing else, we can say that was the first duel, and because of technical error, we had draw. Since we were both going back and forth on that.
So, do you want to just watch that first duel?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll start.
Besides, you and I both made some pretty simple mistakes with good cards we had. So now that was our practice. We'll just throw that on.
That's fine. Practice duel. All right. Ready for another hour-long episode then, because I'm not cutting it out. I'll probably edit it a little bit, but I won't cut it out. All right.
Yeah, that was too much fun to edit out to just completely cut. So
All right. I have no idea what you do
at least now I
completely.
know what I'm working with.
Yeah,
what I'm up against.
that's the difference. Is we actually have cards we have to worry about now. All right. That's that. Your turn. One set, one face down. What the heck is
Yep.
that? Red Eye's Insight. Send one Red Eye's monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Add one Red Eye spell or trap card. Oh gosh. I already know which one that is.
What? No. I would
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact one I thought it was. That's a good searching card. All right. Cool.
We're gonna go ahead and just up that puppy out. Oh no, it says waiting for opponent. I don't like that.
Yep, just gonna get myself ready.
That's fair.
The Black Skull Dragon. I
Um,
Oh
the
no.
bigger, badder brother, Black Skull Dragon. I didn't realize Joey actually used this.
I didn't know either. Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. When does he
I do
use
have
it?
Black Skull Dragon, but
Yugi, yeah, because
this,
Yugi used that one. When does he use this one?
I think it was in actually one of the either Duel Links or later seasons.
Is
I
it in?
can't remember. I know the list. It surprised the heck out of me. I didn't even remember this card until I'm like, oh. Also, the fact that you have waiting, I just don't like. Means you can probably summon a Dark Magician, or you're looking for a Dark Magic attack 1,000 knives, which
Kind of.
I don't really
I'm
care about.
canceling. I'm not even gonna use what I was gonna use because I can't. It's gonna get destroyed if I special summon it. So that's kind of pointless.
That's fair. E-R.
But this is an
Oh,
Archfiend, so you should be paying life points to keep this guy out. No, you can special summon Archfiend Black Skull Dragon once per. This card battles your opponent's card.
how do I get... Oh, there's the cancel button. Sorry about that. I got, Oh, I don't want to set. What the heck? Why cancel? Computer. Oh, well, I think I screwed up, so...
Hey, that's fine with me.
Oops.
I will allow it. Wait,
Okay, that's
when the heck does Joey use Summon Skull?
Yeah, it was weird. It was that one I knew was in the Link monsters was because it was used Red Eyes Black Metal or Red Eyes Black Dragon or yeah, a Black Skull Dragon. He does use that early on. Technically, he uses it with Yugi at first, and then he uses it later on. It was weird.
Yeah,
And
whatever.
of course, he uses it in one of the games, and it's like, okay, this is just getting convoluted. Was that? Ooh.
It doesn't matter. You negate effects during the battle phase, or damage calculation, or whatever during the damage step.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you know what?
I don't know.
So, just
Yep.
gonna bring on this back. Oh, did you? I forgot. It does the 2400 to you and puts it in my deck.
Yep. I read it. I wasn't too happy about that either.
I thought it summoned it. I'm like, wait, no, I forgot.
Hmm.
You sound so comforted by this fact.
I'm just trying to think of how to get out of this. I can't. I can't. I can't beat it right now. There are cards in the deck that can beat it, but I don't have them. And effects don't work during the damage step, so that doesn't help me either.
You know what? No. Okay. All right. New position.
Oh gosh, more.
Well, this is just the beginning, my friend.
More fusions. More red eyes.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I don't want to do that. We're going to activate.
Oh, I remember what
And,
that one does.
go ahead and... Can be chained? What can chain?
That's how I like Dueling Nexus. Like, it
Oh,
doesn't let you forget you can do stuff.
yeah, that is nice. But I figure now I have a 24 and a 32, so... It's at
Oh
least,
my
you know...
gosh. I can out this. Come on. Just gotta draw the right card if I survive this turn. It's not looking too hot just yet. Just draw Raigeki. Or Dark Hole.
Yeah, please no.
Either one of those will be fine. Or there are two other cards in the deck that'll actually help me as well. Preferably one over the other. Since you haven't seen them yet, I'm not going to give titles. But
Yeah, don't, because that'll ruin the fun.
not my fun. My fun is seeing your side empty. Ah, shoot. Of course. What do you even do? Once returned during the end phase, ban this graveyard, monster, graveyard, blah, 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 blah. So glad I drew this card.
Oh, um,
I don't think you have anything to negate trap cards, do ya? I'm scared, because it's possible. But I can't think of a Joey card unless just randomly from a game. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you had a defense monster. When did you have a defense monster?
This turn. Ooh.
And what else? So you could do something else? Oh man.
We're gonna go ahead and bring back an old favorite.
Ugh, got rid of one, and here comes another.
In phase two, activate you.
Luckily, you can't battle the rest of this turn. So, like I said, Raigeki. I don't want Dark Hole. I want Raigeki.
True, that would be bad, but
All right. Heart of the
we're back
cards.
to
Guide me. Okay. That's the Slash Dragon I think you're bringing back out. Yep.
yep.
He's
And then yeah, I think we're good.
all right. Cool. Raigeki. No, but it's one of the ones I was thinking about.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh yes.
Oh
Though
no.
I don't know if it's going to be worth summoning, so let me go and summon my monster first.
Oh no.
You have a reactive card, so now it just depends on what it is. The suspense.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, I'm
Oh,
trying to figure out the right way to use it at the right time.
I could. That'd be 4,000. I could beat you this turn if you don't have a face down.
Oh, I don't
That's
like that idea.
well, okay, maybe not exactly that, because that would have to just. Okay, no, I wouldn't be able to, but it would be close. Um, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go for is like a greedy
Oh.
turn, a really greedy
No.
turn. Why would I put my Crusader in attack mode? Oh, what? No. Return of the Red Eyes. If you control a Red Eyes monster, you can target one normal in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay. If this card is in possession, is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm still taking this, and I'm not going to destroy it by card effect. And just because I'm scared of Mirror Force, I'm keeping my other two in defense mode. Oh, I do have a warrior in my graveyard.
Yeah, I was
Sometimes
hoping you wouldn't realize.
I couldn't view my graveyard during the damn it, effect on screen. Okay, good. Got rid of that thing too. All right, cool. And this card's just continuous. All right. The bad thing is I'm going to start giving you life points. The good thing is I don't care because I have your monster.
Yeah, that's definitely a bad
Two
thing.
cards in hand, one unknown on the field, no monsters. One trap card that is currently useless for you. Okay, you had a monster.
Ooh,
And
this can't work the way I want it to at the moment. So yeah, my only hope.
oh, can I do this from the deck? No, it has to be from the hand. Though this can do something else. I'm gonna keep you face down. All right. Still gonna play slightly defensive just because I don't know what to expect just yet. So I am gonna go. I don't think Joey has stronger defense monsters. Okay, cool. All right. In the end, I will only be doing 1,800 damage because 2,000 damage because you'll take 1,000 of that back. That's my
Still a heck of a lot.
true, but it's definitely keeping you alive longer. But then again, if I didn't do it, I don't know how long I would have survived. Because this 2,800, 3,000, and nothing I have is that
See, I
strong.
thought Vanguard was gonna give me one of my dragons back. Because when this card you control is sent to your graveyard. Oh, by a card effect. Oops. The way it's the only thing I could have done. So I'm pretty much in trouble.
I like
So
the
something on another
sound
card I
of
could
that.
use, they can't use either. So
All right, let's see.
I need to get
That's
some of my good traps or monsters again because
all right.
I haven't.
This is 4,000 right here. This is 7,000. Oh, this is scary. I gotta go for it. I gotta go for it. No, you do. What do you have? Okay, okay.
It's literally the last thing I can do at this point.
Out of everything, oh, cancel. I don't know what that's even gonna do. Okay, out of any
Nothing.
that was I thought torrential
Save me
tribute.
from 1600. That's about it.
I thought torrential tribute for sure. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, I can't use the card I wanted to use the way I wanted to use it.
All right. Um,
At least I have more than 100 life points because I got rid of the 16.
you have,
Oh, of course, I drew one of the only cards that.
why would I want to add that to my hand? My spellcaster monsters on the field are stronger.
Where? Why won't it let me? Oh, why didn't it let me do it that turn? Or like the last three turns? What the heck? Wouldn't let me activate the wyvern that I'm supposed to be able to banish it and special summon Red Eyes. What the heck? It's at the end phase, but how many end phases has gone since they've been in the graveyard and it hasn't told me it was
Well,
supposed to allow it?
maybe you had to click into. I don't know.
Okay, now of course because I called it out, it's gonna let me do it. So
All right, so let's see. We're special summoning the red eyes back.
yeah, but at this point,
If that's all you have, then I am sorry, but just in case,
this
I'm
is
gonna
over.
throw this in defense mode, and it's time
Okay.
to attack in.
Yeah,
Unless your face down can solve this. Wait, what? If you control red eyes match, you can target one normal in your graveyard special summon if this card is possession destroyed by an opponent's card effect. Um, no, we'll wait. We'll wait. See what you're doing.
I'm
Okay.
stalling. That's exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm stalling.
Well,
Ooh,
I'm just gonna one for one this.
I don't like that.
It's literally the same monster, but I'm gonna use its secondary effect to take care of something on your side of the field. Bye.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, cool. And now back to business.
At least I stalled.
All right. Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna try it this way.
Same here. I'm gonna try it out this way. I we'll see. Oh, you're first. All right, let's go. See what you got.
Yeah, I got diddly squat and a squat and a diddly.
I will take it. Hopefully, I could raise you one squat. Let's see. Got a monster? Tell me you have no monster.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
but
1,700. Okay, that's actually kind of strong. Unless my next card. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you would be that many.
still, that's for most of your magicians. That's at least gonna slow you down. Most, of course.
Let's go after the one you set first. Hopefully, you weren't trying to
Um,
play me. Oh, wow. Yeah, that
yeah, a lot of this deck is
later on would have hurt.
yeah, like if last duel, if I would have got that, I would have been much better off.
I think I'm gonna throw this here, and I hate to say it, but I don't have anything else. This is horrible. I thought, oh, I draw my Crusader, I can beat that monster, but I didn't draw the Crusader. I drew nothing stronger than 1700. So there's that.
Dude, I got diddly to even stop that. So, um, I'm just gonna attack face down, even though I bet I know what it is.
Well, take a guess. Ah, too late.
Oh, it's not who I thought it was. I thought it was Robe.
That was something I would have had and would have been nice. Would have caused damage. But no, this is just gonna definitely banish. So that's removed. One less red eyes to worry about unless you deal with banish cards. I think that's
No,
more of a
it's not
Kaiba
gonna
thing.
happen.
Ah,
Yeah.
this is nice to have. Let's just take care of that back row. Doesn't matter. Wait, does it matter? Okay, good. Ah, skull
No,
dice. Skull dice is nice. All right. I
I
guess
am
for
screwed up Shit's Creek here.
um,
Ooh, I am.
you can add one normal spell or trap card from your deck to your hand that specifically lists Dark Magician's name during your opponent's turn. If you activate, oh, of course I'm going to do that. Why not? Why wouldn't I do that?
Exactly. I wasn't screwed before, I am now, because that card can completely turn the Dark Magician deck around.
Throw that here. Well,
Now that I have nothing on the field, I am completely done for.
hey, you have
I was hoping
6,400
that
life
I
points left. You have a lot of game to play. All you have to do is draw Red Eyes Fusion.
know.
No,
I well, yeah, I need that, and that's about the only thing that'll save me. But with your deck, it's too easily countered.
oh, you had
I have
nothing?
no hope of winning.
Nothing at
No,
all?
I
Oh,
can't do shit. You got
oh,
rid of my only hope. I have had the worst hand on effects
oh, man,
at all.
this is this is great. Not
I could
only
not have done any worse if I tried.
not only does this eliminate Joey from and Yugi from the wheel. I mean, it might also, oh,
I
we'll
was
see.
really hoping my dragon deck would.
Red Eyes deck sounds
I
awesome.
get a great Red Eyes deck, but it's all traps that I can't
I
use.
have to say, over half of my deck is spell and trap cards, just because,
Oh yeah,
like,
with Dark
there
Magician,
is
that's
not,
the way it's
but
supposed to be.
there was an I almost put in magical hats. I didn't actually do that. I wanted to, but I
I
was
don't
like,
have
nah.
that card in my deck either. Dude, I have two monsters I have no hope of summoning in my hand, and I'm drawing cards that
I
I can't use.
I have to try it.
Dude, you're gonna boot me to death at this rate.
I'm gonna go with Spirit Reaper first.
Go ahead, neither one of them's gonna be stopped. Like I said, cards I can't use.
Hey, I just wanted to get rid of. I wanted to see what it was and get rid of it. All right, this might be your last turn. Depends on
Oh, 100% is, because I just drew a completely useless card.
Well, don't tell me before you put it face. Oh wait, okay. Completely useless. I see. Probably the best trap card in his whole deck.
Yeah, right. I wish.
Ooh, probably one of my best, but I can't use it. So now
First two duels were much better than this one.
I could have definitely won, but I am gonna play it safe and not summon
It was the other completely useless card in my hand that
me.
I've
Ooh,
had since
that's a
turn
cool.
one.
That's a cool card.
It's cool,
Um,
but it's useless.
So, all right, you didn't have anything unless I did summon. I don't know. I did have a card I could have sacrificed and summoned, but last card.
Oh,
Show it. What do you got? Oh, it's a monster.
finally. Still useless, but at least one I can summon.
I kinda want to take it and use it against you,
Be my guest. Not gonna do you much good.
but I'm not
Sure, it's
going
not doing
to.
me any good. It's a better choice.
Throw this face down. Going to battle phase. I guess I should have put Spirit Reaper, and I just want to attack with it. Throw in defense mode main phase 2.
One of the great cards in my deck, but a completely useless card at this point in time.
Can't you?
Well,
Because the red eyes has to be in your
I
hand.
did great 2 turns ago.
Alright, this is it. Maybe. That's a good one. Too bad I'm not going to summon it unless this doesn't go through. Alright. Ooh, you have something.
Again, would have been
Uh,
like 2 or 3 turns ago.
Why would you even activate the card? You just send them all back to your deck and draw them all again.
No, I only draw 1 card.
Meteor Dragon, Meteor Dragon.
Oh, of course. The 1 card I drew, Red Eyes Fusion.
Oh, that would have been nice. All right.
2 turns ago, it would have been great.
In my face down, I had Mirror Force, Eternal Soul, and Magician Navigation. In my hand, I had Snatch Steal, Soul Exchange, and Old Vindictive Magician.
Saw everything I had. I had a face down, which, give me a second, I want to make sure I get the name of the card right.
Just hover over it, yeah.
I exited out of the thing too soon. I had Red Dragon's Red Eye Spirit. So target a Red Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summoning.
Oh,
Use it. Then I also had the card that I actually thought would give me a lot better use of Release Restraint Wave. Destroy
oh.
destroy all your opponent's face down spell or trap cards. Of course, every time I got it, it was completely useless.
Right, that's a good card.
Otherwise, I was.
If you have the equip.
I even do.
It's good you attack DD Warrior Lady, and I did throw Robe down because I did have. I think I had Robe the first turn. I did, yeah. And I removed your Retro Dragon from play because that would have allowed you to special summon again. I don't know if it would have been much of a difference, but it definitely would have gave you another option. So, good duel overall.
I don't get to see Kid Moto Dragon.
Oh, I know about the Kaiba uses that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't even get to use half the decent cards in my deck. This deck
Well,
apparently
you stuffed it to almost
has the heart of cards.
what 4, 5, 6, 7, 58 cards in your main deck. Like you almost maxed it out. I'm sticking as close to 40 as possible just so I could see everything I want to
I
see.
usually do better with more cards, but yeah, I also had Blue Dragon Summoner in there. Didn't even see it. Kept getting the same useless cards, or the cards were great, but they're useless if you don't give me a card I can use it with. Like, I didn't even get to use Kunai and Chain. I had
Why?
Arm Shield.
That's a good one.
Blast with Chain.
Decent.
Metal Morph.
Good.
That was one of the 2 trap holes. Like, I didn't get to use a lot of the stuff that I was planning to protect myself with.
I think your problem was you just had you stuffed it with too many cards. I think you should have focused on like one specific. Like you had Meteor Dragon, you had Axe Raider. You just said you had Kunai and Chain and Release Restraint Wave. Like you had a wide range. And I know in your first the first time when you were using Kaiba, you like all your options. I think here your options actually hurt you. Where with Kaiba, all your options flowed together. With Joey, it's like 2 different wavelengths. So like the warrior side hurt the red eye side, and the red eye side hurt the warrior side.
Which I still don't get, considering there's only 3 warrior cards in the entire thing, and it was 4 red eye / dragon, and when it worked, it was fine. But again, against a freaking dark magician deck, there's not much Joey can do. Period. Anyway.
Did you?
But even then,
I mean,
once I got one thing, the rest of the time I drew, especially once you countered, I got crap.
if it wasn't for Snatch Steal, that first duel that got like disconnected, I don't know what I would have drawn. I don't know. Like if I drew Raigeki, I would have won it.
Yeah.
But if I or Dark Hole, maybe. I don't know what I don't remember what I had in hand. I guess I could look back at it and see. Oh, could have gone. It could have gone either way. We both had a lot of life points to where, and the turn would have ended with me still being alive. It could have been turned around.
Yeah.
The second duel was really good. If I did not draw Snatch Steal, because I was thinking Raigeki, Dark Hole, Change of Heart, which I have in the deck, or Snatch Steal, and I've got this most likely. And I was like, ooh, and I started to stuff my field with monsters in
Well, it
defense
would
mode.
stall even after you use
Right.
it, but yeah,
And I was
this
like,
deck I
if I
can stall at best. There's no coming back unless I get a certain card.
right, and if I drew Dark Hole, I was like, that would have hurt us both because I actually had like three monsters on the field still, and I was like, Raigeki or and even Snatch Steal, Change of Heart will help. Snatch Steal being the second I wanted out of Raigeki being first. So first duel was Snatch Steal was great, which I actually have in my hand right now. But this duel, yeah, you didn't draw what you needed. You drew Red Eyes Fusion a turn too late, and yeah.
Yeah,
And even then, like I said, I had Soul Exchange and Snatch Steal ready to go to
you had
take.
so much of a field that unless I would have been able to
And
use
yeah,
Dark Hole, which he didn't use, he's never used, which was surprising. I wouldn't have been able to clear out your field quick enough or well enough to
yeah.
come back.
No,
There was no
this
hope.
this second duel. The only thing I hated is drawing Mahad on my opening hand. I was like, really? The only reason I have you in here is to not draw you on my opening hand. But
Exactly.
overall, this was fun. Yugi and Joey, a true rival duel. So this was
Yeah,
pretty cool. Just like in the anime, though. Sorry, Joey, you just couldn't cut it.
it was.
We actually had a third duel, even though just because it just got disconnected. So pretty cool. But overall, that's it. That's the video. If you have anything to comment, say, do. If you want to fix our decks, I guarantee there is a better Magician deck of cards that Yugi uses. Just like I'm sure there's a better Red Eyes deck that Daniel used. Let us
Oh
know.
yeah.
Like it'd be really cool to see like some pros like take our wheel, build decks like that are going with our rules, and I'd be very tempted. Like, oh, I got Bakura. Well, let me just use this one because if I get Bakura, I'm telling you right now, I'm going for Destiny board.
Fair enough.
I almost, if it wasn't for like because I couldn't use Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, I swear Yugi can. I swear I saw it in the anime, but that's the card I was saying in the beginning. I thought he used, and it
I
doesn't.
thought Joey used Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. I couldn't find that he used it
I
anywhere.
think Atticus does in GX.
Exactly.
Um, but Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, no one uses it. I was like, I swear Red Eyes Dark and Dark Magician fusion existed in the anime. So I don't know because Yugi used Red Eyes in Battle City when Joey didn't take it back from the Rear Hunter.
Yeah.
Joey never used Dark Magician though. I mean, he might have had it in a tag team duel, but he actually never had Dark Magician in his possession. So I was so hoping to use such a powerful card, and I was like, well, I guess I can't. Just like some Magician cards Yugi didn't use that, in real life, there are some really good Dark Magician cards. So if I get
That's like Joey's extra deck was really bare. All the four cards I use are literally basically all of the extra ones he used, except for like Lizard Sword, the
oh,
Lizard Sword, or
you didn't
again Thousand Dragon,
you didn't use the
Joey.
right time. Oh, did you use the Claw of Heremos at all?
No, surprisingly not. I should have.
Because I have the Ayatamias in my side deck, but I didn't use.
Yeah.
I was like, those are the only two fusions in my side deck. The only other thing is if I gave up on a control deck, a control magician deck, I was gonna go Exodia, but he doesn't have enough cards to draw. Like, yeah, there's Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity, but other than that, I was like, Swords of Revealing Light to stall. Like, I would have been cool, but I think it would have been a waste of a Yugi turn. But yeah,
For sure.
that's my thoughts. But yeah, we'll take a look at the deck profiles. No reason to go through anything else in our decks. Yeah,
Sounds good.
that's the duel. Thanks for checking us out. As always, thank you for any and all support. Support links are in the description of the video. Daniel, by if you ever create or do anything on your own, I will start adding your links as well to the videos. But until then, I don't have anything for you because you kind of just helping. You're just helping the channel out, and that's fine. That's fair. So
I have more fun with friends than I do by myself, so I'm good with it.
yeah, and I appreciate it. And honestly, this is fun. So awesome.
100%.
Well, thank you guys, and have a good day.